Everybody having fun? All right. Wow, I feel like there's like a judging panel. First of all, I want to say welcome. I'm going to put this down so that I don't have to carry it around or I'll start slinging water around. So when we talk about making it personal, I'm going to make it personal right off of the bat. If you look around, everybody looks exactly the same, right? You're all wearing exactly the same thing. Your hair is exactly the same way. There's nothing different about you, right? No. Probably all have the same interest. Probably not. But yet we're still united by certain things. One, you have a certain passion which brings you here. So when we talk about making it personal, one of the things that I really want you to think about as we go through this is, are we really making it personal or are we just being lazy? Or have we let technology overcome what we believe could really still be the best of both worlds, where art and science can truly still be part of our marketing? So kind of keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this. So let me start by saying, have you ever, when you've traveled, when you walk a street, have you ever had one of those moments where you stop and say, gosh, this looks really familiar? I remember as a child, my grandmother owned a little boutique, and one of my favorite things was when the boxes showed up, and it was like running to go open up the boxes. It was like Christmas morning all the time to see what was in there, because it was all new inventory, all really different, it was all really special, and it's just really super exciting. And now, when I came to eBay, one of the things that I started noticing as I was going through it, that we get this great fortune of having what I call categories of passion. Categories of passion doesn't mean that unique is different all the time. It just means that there may be multiple options of something. However, let me show you something. Does this street in London look different than this street in New York or this street in Shanghai? What's fascinating to me is that, again, what's happened is we have this sea of sameness. We're wondering why maybe some of these bricks and mortars are going out of business, because if you think about it, when a trend hits, it gets replicated, and now that uniqueness or those boutiques or those things that become really kind of special are almost not easy to find. Especially not easy when, again, you can go to New York or you can go to Shanghai or you can go to London, and really a lot of those same places are on those streets, and so it doesn't look very different. Now, this is also, nothing wrong with this, right? This could look like many of y'all's closets. It could, because it's easy. You find something you love, you get it in a multiple different sizes of that, just in case there's a little bit of swelling here or there, or whatever the case may be, or you get it in multiple colors. What is interesting, though, is that I also wonder at times that when we look at this and we think about this sea of sameness, or the things of which we've been, there's a trend, and that trend picks up so quickly and it takes off. But sometimes we just want to find those same things, but at the same time, it's hard to find it. And so when you think about sneakers and then you think about what's going on, it made us start to think about at eBay, which was, hey, let's go out and figure out what is it that really is motivating people. How do they feel about this? We've got algorithms that are constantly telling us what you want based on what we think you should have. So have we lost touch? Reality is we have. As marketers, as merchants, we've started losing touch with the fact that, our study says that 89% of folks really do want and want to demonstrate that there's something personal about them, that there's something unique. Again, it doesn't mean that we're all not going to walk in here and have, maybe the same shirt or shoes as someone else, but the way you wear it and the style that you put behind it. But again, if that's really important to us and we really want to stand out and want to have kind of those moments, then why are we constantly finding ourselves in this kind of lazy mode as marketers, just kind of getting into this rhythm? So digging a little bit deeper, what we found is that actually, again, 93% of our shoppers were actually looking to find something that reflected them. Now, by the way, when I say this isn't necessarily that, like, hey, you're looking for something on that special occasion. This is every day, whether it's a great accessory, pair of shoes or a purse, Maybe it's an outfit that you have. Maybe it's something that, again, is in your home. When I'm thinking about my home and my home decor, I want my items to feel like that they have a reflection of me, not necessarily that it's every single home that you're going to walk into. So when you start thinking about these personal and interest, is there more opportunity for us to really dig in? When you have this personal interest, there's communities like us. We have a personal interest in what we do in marketing and technology in this space, and we all congregate together. So personalization is deeper, and that's what I want to kind of think about for today. Now, at the same time, if we do this right, I like that stat that's up there that says that when you get it right, you see a 10% lift on your revenues. Given the fact that my job is to actually be a growth engine for the company, not just an expense, that makes me excited. So it really is about getting it right and constantly working on it. We aren't just saying that we're going to do it one time and that's it, we'll just walk away. So for eBay, I showed you that sneaker. However, if I took that and exploded it on eBay, guess what? Now I've got brands, I've got all types of colors, styles, uniqueness. Whether you're a sneakerhead or you're my 14-year-old son who's just looking for his next new pair of Stan Smiths, or my daughter who's looking for a new funky color of Converse, I have the beauty of not being same. I can make it so incredibly unique because I give you choice. But what our challenge was to make sure that we could actually show you that, get you to it quicker, not necessarily make you have to work so hard at it, not always relying on algorithms to just assume that because you bought that one thing that you want that same color and size the next time. So again, creating those moments to where we can make that inspiration or that discovery much more impactful, okay? So you think about this and I go, gosh, it's so exciting. I go on my platform every day and there's something new. We have over 1 billion items on our site every day. So our inventory is very fresh. Now, that said, I'm going to give you 3 things to think about today. And the first one I'm going to talk about is going beyond email. Personalization is not necessarily, hello, Suzy. Now, how many people have either, one, received one of these great emails that are so personalized, or maybe we've also been that one who has actually accidentally sent it out before the name went in? We see this. Or my favorite is when it comes and it calls me by a completely different name, and I think, that I don't even know who else got my name. But come on, this is lazy. This was great 10, 15 years ago, but we're better than this now. So my first rule is go beyond email. Fine, I still like it if it actually gets my name right when it comes, but go beyond email. And what does that mean for us at eBay? This is our new homepage. Our new homepage is slowly rolling out, and it'll be out by the end of this month at 100%. And the whole purpose behind this, and what you're seeing right now is a little glimpse into my world. You can check and see my homepage, what I've been looking for. Extremely relevant. You'll see things on there, obviously, from home decor. I've got my daughter's graduating. I need to spruce up some of my guest rooms, so I've been doing a lot of searching from a home decor standpoint. Come on, it's changed the seasons. So now I'm looking for, obviously, new sandals or clothes. So again, the expression there. But the other thing that we're being very careful about is that we've got an amazing amount of data to understand this, but we also make sure that we're thinking about how do we make sure we're making those connections. The connections really matter. Now, when this rolls out, it's not going to be as spectacular as we know that in another month or a year it's going to be, because that's the other thing we're going to do is keep going, not stick at the email. We're going to continue involving it. And so I'm really super excited about it because for us, it's really about making sure that we can get you to those things and inspire you so that you want to discover. So go beyond email. The next one I would tell you is know your customer. Now, this is easy for me to say in the sense that we have an unbelievable amount of data. But sometimes we're not always smart about how we use that. Sometimes it goes back to saying that maybe it just tells us exactly what it is that you bought, and we stay very, very literal. But now we're starting to unleash that. Don't make it prescriptive, make it predictive. allow it to start to truly tell us that, hey, maybe there's some other things going on from a household perspective, that it's not just me that's looking for fashion in my home, that we can also start to understand that I've got a 14-year-old boy, so that maybe that PS4 and that NBA game that we just bought means that there's some other activity happening. Interest, really diving deep into the interest. Asking, that's the other great thing that a lot of times we don't do, which is just ask. So again, know your customer so you can create those unique experiences so that they can feel like, you know what, I can really connect with this brand and engage with them. The key about that is that if we do think about it, then we have this benefit of, if you buy this one item, we can start thinking about, again, my benefit is that I've got every other accessory under the sun to go with it. So if we do it well, going back to how we grow revenue, now we're really sparking something. Again, it enables us to know that, again, if I'm a category of passions and there's things, if you love cars, then we can start to talk about maybe, hey, if you also love cars, you also may be a big music fan. Again, just expanding. None of this is new to us. It's about how we, as marketers, it's about how do we really take advantage of it and make sure that we're making those connections. So go beyond email, make sure you know your customer, use your data so that it's actually predictive, not just prescriptive. The next thing I'm going to talk about is that when we talk about the know your customer, one other little insight that we found was women specifically, as we started looking at our fashion, because we've got unbelievable fashion on eBay, one of the things that we looked at was to say, hey, how do women inspire each other? They inspire each other by what they're wearing. And they inspire each other in the sense of saying, I love that. I would wear it this way, or I would put it this way. So I'm going to roll this so that you can kind of get a flavor for how we brought that to life. So just a little flavor of how to really bring it to life. There you go, see? Okay, now, if that's the case and we understand, then we also need to make sure that we understand where you are in your shopping, or if are you looking just for inspiration, or are you in that moment to actually purchase? And sometimes that's taking place in a lot of different ways. 60% of our GMV, so what we are really earning, is come from, in first quarter, came from a mobile interaction. Now, it doesn't mean that the transaction actually took place on mobile. It means that mobile played a part in it. So again, it's really important for us to make sure that we're making those connections and that you understand exactly what your customers are looking for and where they are in their journey. So I'm going to close with my 3 key things, right? 1, make sure that you go beyond email. Really make it personal, not in a creepy way, but in a really relevant way. 2, know your customer. Know them. And 3, be relevant in that journey. Be sure that you're making and you're actually creating that relationship with them. And I think that, again, not taking it from a very mundane and kind of lazy way, but truthfully, let's get out of this sea of sameness and start really having fun with all the amazing toys and gadgets, as you also see here, and put it into action. Thank you.
All right, and did you guys